Right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here in Hearts of Iron 4. I want to try a run here as the state of Austria. So, Austria is an interesting place within Hearts of Iron. It's kind of a normally just overlooked place because usually it just gets, annexed by Germany right away. But there are some interesting possibilities for what you can do here with the Austrians. But it's not an easy run. And the reason is, so what I want to try to do is I want to see if I can rebuild, like, first the Austro-Hungarian Empire and ultimately the Holy Roman Empire. Right? That's my goal here. I don't actually know if you can, like, if you can actually make it the Holy Roman Empire, or if it just becomes the Austro-Hungarian Empire again. We'll see. We'll see. But at any rate, I'm going to try to ultimately reclaim the areas that were once the Holy Roman Empire. That's my goal for this run. In order to do that, what you have to do initially is go it alone, and then, like, bolster national defense, and then you get to past glory. So you have to crack down on socialists, and then where's the crackdown on Nazi elements to get here, because these don't, or I guess you can continue the Italian alliance, but I'm going to want to attack the Italians eventually. Maybe you don't actually have to go it alone, because this one is look to the west, crack down on Nazi elements, bolster national defenses. Oh yeah, so you do have to go it alone because you need the bolster national defenses or continue the Italian alliance to get to here. And I don't want to do that. So what that means is that if Germany follows the historical path and tries to annex Austria, I won't have allies immediately to help me, which makes it more difficult. So I'm going to have to be very careful. We also have this element over here where Nazis in Austria are trying to take over these territories of Austria. And if they gain more than 70% of the territory, it calls it divisions. I don't know why. It's not referring to military divisions. It's referring to these regional divisions. If they gain total control, like these like dark red areas, if they gain total control of these 70% of these areas, there'll be a civil war. And they'll be supported by the Germans, right? So we're going to start dealing with that here in just a second. First, let's get some tech going. I'm playing with a few different mods. So, of course, I'm playing with Road to 56, which I think is the gentleman's way to play Hearts of Iron. I can't imagine playing without Road to 56. And I'm also playing with player-led peace conferences, which basically, if you are a player and you win a war, even if there are like AI elements in that war on your side, you decide who gets what territories and whatnot. It is a cheat, but it's a way to prevent like ridiculous border gore. The AI has no idea how to like make reasonable territories, and a lot of times they'll do stuff like they'll take, like, the German Reich will get defeated and they'll annex and puppet and stuff like huge regions of it, and then they'll leave the Nazis in control of like one little county down here. So like Nazi Germany will technically still exist. Like, it gets really weird. So yeah, so player-led peace conferences just allows the player to make that not happen. You can, yes, absolutely use it to cheat. I am going to kind of vow to not do that. I'm going to use it just to make things normal. The other mod I'm playing with, the third mod, is one I actually just discovered this morning as I'm recording this, called Ceasefire. And it allows, if, say, I were to go to war with Yugoslavia, the war bogs down, neither of us can make any progress, we can agree to a ceasefire. And in that ceasefire, the fighting would stop. And say I've occupied, this region up here. I would keep control of that, but I don't own it yet. And either one of us could break the ceasefire and attack the other. So it gives kind of if it works, I've never used it before, this is my first time. So if it works the way it says it does, it will add a fair amount of reality to these local, kind of regional minor wars. Obviously Germany and France, you could have a ceasefire. In reality, there probably wouldn't have been. Hitler tried several times to negotiate peace, but the Allies just were not. They were not going to. He had done too much to anger too many people. They were never going to negotiate with him. But he tried. He tried. So it's not out of the question that the Germans or the British or somebody could ask for a peace, for a ceasefire in a major war. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But for now, this will auto-complete here in a bit, so we can't start there. So just to fill the time, we're going to work on our economy here. And we are going to try to balance out our power. So Steiermark, we want to fortify. And we're going to try... So there's Nazi influence in Salzburg, which is right here. We're going to try to combat the influence. So they would win in 80 days. We could combat that influence in 75. Austria awaken. So if we take this decision, we will end up... we're basically acknowledging that Germany is going to take us over. So we want to go Austria awaken. And we want to make sure that we are fighting the Austrian Nazi party here. So we've got to be... This is an area, if you're playing as Austria here in this early stage, you really want to pay attention to this. So you can see, right, we're only like a step ahead of them. So as soon as this is done, before they do anything else, we need to start combating whatever it is that they're going to do next. Okay, so Germany is about to go into a state of civil war. That's going to make it really interesting for us. What that means is that Germany is not going to take steps toward undoing the Treaty of Versailles. So if they enter into a civil war, or it reaches July 1st, 1936, then I don't know if we'll be able to take this and complete it, or if it will complete automatically. If Germany, the moment Germany does the first steps toward undoing Versailles, this will auto completes. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Rearming our army. So we lowered Nazi influence in Salzburg. So they're gonna... messed up, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. So the influence in Salzburg went back up to where it was. Yeah, I messed this up a little bit, but that's okay. So we just need to basically, so I'll drive the Nazi influence in Steiermark down. I messed up because I didn't wait to see where they were going to go next. So they're going to make here in Vine, they'll make the influence go up, but that's okay. So I'll just wait and see where they go next after that. And as long as I'm quick, I should be able to come back. I can't do that one yet. Germany is now in a state of civil war. I don't really need the political power, and I don't like hits stability. I never in Paradox games, any Paradox game that has a stability mechanic, I do everything I can to keep the stability high. So we'll see where these guys go next. So they are here. Can we not combat their influence there? I guess maybe because they have no influence there, we can't. Okay, well, Vine is our capital, so. It will only let me combat them in Steiermark. That seems strange to me, but such is life. normally is a very scary decision to go it alone, because you are giving up on any conception of like alliances that will help keep the Germans from taking you over. But we don't really have to worry about that, because Germany is in a state of civil war right now. If I go that way, let's see. That lets me annex all of these places. That, I think, rebuilds the Austro-Hungarian Empire. This is more of an Austrian fascist tree over here. That's more pure democracy. This is more like Franz Ferdinand's legacy. I don't know. There are some good options on both sides, I suppose. This one is probably better for my overall goal, but this one, I mean, that allowing to annex all of the territories of the former Austro-Hungarian Empire. At any rate, we'll see. First thing we should do is crack down on the Nazis. I've never once seen the socialists win this war. They're always caught between the Nazis and the pro-democracy forces. I suppose as the player, maybe that's a run I could try to do sometime and see if I can form the GDR. As a player, there probably are ways you can make it happen, but like as a civil war, I've never seen it. Never seen it work out for the socialists. They just keep saying combat Nazi influence in Steiermark, but like, I've already done that. if there's something glitched. Because the new star mark has no... Salzburg is right here. But it doesn't... Like, it just keeps saying Steiermark. Oh, no, it's combating Nazi influence in Salzburg. Okay. There must have just been some glitch in what was being stated there. Yeah, so the socialists lost, so we've got the democratic government here, and we've got the Nazi government here. I've also never seen the Nazis win. France is a kingdom now. France has become an absolute monarchy. I wonder if maybe instead of trying to be where they are, maybe I should be where they're not and like reduce their influence in other places. Vine is where the capital is. Try to always take advantage of these ahead of time things, but it's not really worth it if it's still like over a year. Germany's at war with the Romanian People's Republic? That's weird. How did that happen? I know this isn't the most exciting playthrough now. It's fun to play. It's probably not the most exciting to watch. I guess I always say that, but this channel really isn't about excitement anyway. The point of this channel is to be background noise for you. It is just like this whole like combating the Nazi mechanic is. I need to wait till I have 35% support. It's just kind of tedious, I suppose. I guess it does. So I said the division thing didn't refer to these divisions. I guess it does. It controls 3 divisions with 1 consisting of tank hats. I was thinking it meant these counties or these regions, but I guess not. I should have these guys training. I haven't done that at all. Oops. I should be training, not just sitting around doing nothing. It'll take a little bit for us to get to 35. Romania is at war with the Soviet Union now. Does that mean that the Federal Republic of Germany is at war with the Soviet Union? What? That is so bizarre to me. How they would have ended up in that war. Japan has invaded everybody. We definitely know what that's like. Civil War. That's a fun one to play too. Just kind of see how messed up you can make Spain. They're now at war with Germany. Germany's at war with the Soviets and everybody else. They have no allies. That's wild. We are now the Empire of Austria. Fighting against the Nazis here. So we keep going back and forth. So I don't really understand how you're supposed to ever get above like 67%, because if I can only combat their influence in one place and they're always influencing one place, like I don't understand how you get ahead. See, like, still. I guess maybe this way, because we can combat them faster. This is more of a war path. Where's this one ultimately? That was all that, but I think for my goals, what I'm kind of hoping to do with the playthrough, I think this is the one. I guess we don't really get a choice. We have to wait and see how the negotiations go. Okay. Germany's at war with the Soviets, and they have no allies. I mean, it would be great to be able to attack them. They would probably still obliterate us, but it'd be worth a shot. So we went up a little bit, but then we went back down. Just have to wait till I've done that. Yeah. Alright, so we now control Hungary, sort of. Hearts of Iron doesn't have the personal union mechanic quite the same way that, well, I guess, I mean, it does work. I guess probably pretty similar. In like EU4, you get a personal union. You're the king of two countries, but you only really control your original country, and the other acts essentially like a vassal. Basically, the same is happening here. Technically, I control both of these places, but this one is acting, you know, as a puppet state essentially. really kind of hyper-focused on getting rid of this Nazi influence. That's my first goal here. Once that's done, then I can, think about other stuff. Uh-oh, something big is happening. Yep. The Soviets are now in a state of civil war. I shouldn't have done that one because I need it to be on the side of Habsburg. That's okay. It'll only set it back a little bit. eventually, because we're playing kind of a game here of like back and forth. And I have, I guess, slowly taken over a lot more than what they have. They're going to gain some influence up here. But then, you know, it's like the sort of leapfrog of back and forth, trying to keep them from gaining too much influence. And, I don't know how we're ever supposed to get to 80%. Because they're going to take over a little bit here, which is going to drop it back to 67. Then we're going to do this, and it's going to go back up to 72. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't... So that went, no, it's, oh, 69. Okay, so now they're going here. So I guess what we need to do basically is we're kind of playing a numbers game of like if we can get this down quickly enough, we need to like hit this button as soon as it hits 80%. Which is maybe a little annoying. We need to get this up to 75. Yugoslavia. And Yugoslavia is... How are the Soviets just at war with everyone? Yugoslavia is at war with Romania and Italy. And France. Jeez. We get for alliances going here. They don't even have one. So France is now attacking Germany. 78. Then it's going to go back down. That up. 78. Now it's back down to 72. Germany proposes unification. No. No, we are not doing the Anschluss. Germany. As a matter of fact, it's time for war. In a second. Wants me to join their faction. I don't really want to eventually, but it would probably help if I did. You can always leave it later. Civil War anyway. After all of that effort. To prevent the Civil War, we end up with one anyway. But I guess we have a bunch of extra units, which is nice. Out of here. We still have to do this. We shouldn't have to. Shouldn't have to be doing that if there's already a Civil War. just like they're at war, but they're just kind of sitting there, not doing anything. I guess if I do join, then I would be able to control. Now that thing is gone. So we don't need to worry about it anymore, because after over an hour, almost an hour and a half of trying to keep the Nazis in check, I ended up in the Civil War anyway. So that was dumb. French are like just not doing anything over here. I don't know what they're doing, but fighting the Germans is not it. let it happen, but we can try. Potentially pocket a big region here, though. right, well, this war... Oh, the U.S. is now in a civil war. We're at about an hour and a half here, and this is kind of bogged down. And I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, and we will come back next week and see what can happen. I mean, the French have done basically nothing. The Italians have done basically nothing. I kind of feel like I'm mostly at war with Germany by myself. Like there are, I've got my client states here, but I don't feel like anybody else is really doing much of anything. So maybe there'll have to be a settling of accounts when all this is over. We'll see. But for now, I'm going to stop the video here. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope it's been some decent background noise, even if a lot of it was me just staring at my screen, hoping that the Nazis wouldn't start a civil war that they then definitely started. But if nothing else, hopefully it's been a little background noise for you, and I'll see you all again at some point.